This morning we received some conflicting information about the housing industry. Housing starts fell to a 5-month low. Take a look, 554,000. That's the annual rate of housing. On the other hand, we did see better than expected numbers from building permits. You got to get a permit in order to build a house. Well, to help us understand these numbers and for their effect on the broader economic recovery, I'm joined by Gene Marks. He is the president of the Marks Group. Gene, good to have you with us. Thanks for coming in. You made it all the way from Philadelphia.
I know. I took that hour train ride.
Love it. Tell me, what's the deal with the housing market? You can almost find an answer for any argument you want to make about housing. You got good numbers and you got bad numbers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the bottom line is, when you look at the housing market, Pim, is that there's really no good news right now in the housing market. Even when analysts were expecting numbers to be close to 700,000 annual housing starts this year, the fact that we came in at 587, that was disappointing news, of course, right? Pim, before the recession hit, we were at like 1.8 million.
Right, nearly 2 million annual units.
I mean, we're still at a third of the level of housing starts that we were before the recession. So the industry is still just mirrored in a decline. So, even though it wasn't like positive news, even in the best case scenario, it's still not really great news.
What's happening to prices? Because, I mean, it's one thing to talk about building permits as well as new housing starts. But if you've got a house to sell or you want to buy a house, what's going on with the pricing?
Everybody is looking for that bottom and when it's going to hit. I mean, the Case-Shiller Housing Index has been out recently, and it still trends downwards. And every analyst in the industry looks at it and says to themselves, well, are we hitting a bottom yet? Can they go any further down? Well, when housing starts continue to trend down like they are, that's just going to have a negative impact on prices. Not a great time to be in the real estate business if you're in the construction industry, unless you're in the home remodeling industry, where that...
Which is doing very well, right? I mean, you look at the results of companies like the Home Depot, Lowe's also. We had Dan Morris on from the Manor Growth Fund earlier. He says he's investing in Bed Bath & Beyond.
You follow the home remodeling index as well. That has been going up through the charts over the past 2 years because homeowners like you and me, we stick around and we remodel and we fix up our houses instead of going out and buying new houses. But having said that, I look at the economy and I look at the young people that are, entering the workforce and looking to settle down. It's such a great time to buy a house. I mean, interest rates have really never been lower.
30-year money at 4%, somewhere around there.
What better time is there? Now, for a guy like me who's looking to sell, it depends on what market that you're in and what your long-term investment is.
Right, it's all local.
It really is. And it all just depends on the individual. So when I talk to clients and they're looking at saying, look, we want to buy someplace and stay that in place for the next 20, 30 years and raise a family, and that's where we want to be, I say, man, scrape up the money to do it, get a mortgage to do it. There's no better time to lock in on a rate because housing prices across the country are just at a low, and that's a big advantage.
And you build equity more quickly at 4% for 30 years, right? A little bit more for the 15-year.
That is correct. Now, turning around, we have building permits, right? So that's good news. I mean, that had been trending down for a while, and suddenly we got this good news that building permits have trended up. There's a reason behind that. A lot of the business owners that I talk to, a lot of our clients, we serve a lot of small, medium-sized, and large companies that are looking to make commercial investments and build out. And they're looking at the economy now over the next 6 to 12 months with a little bit more of optimism. You would be surprised to think that in an election year with all the uncertainty that's going on. But most companies that, they've reported is we're seeing quarterly earnings higher than ever. A lot of companies have cash balances that they're looking to spend. And because prices are so down as they are, real estate is so cheap, that's why we're seeing building permits start to tick up. And I'm expecting to see a lot more of that over the next few months.
Keep us up to date. Thank you very much. Gene Marks from the Marks Group. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and insights about the housing industry. Much appreciated. Good luck with selling the house. All right. Coming up, we're going to talk about the first quarter. The results may or may not be in for hedge funds. We'll give you more details.